we're here to talk about the specific challenges MCPS and the Board of Education have faced in handling complaints addressing employee misconduct. And as I ask my questions and make my remarks today, I'm seeking, as I hope we all are, to correct the deficiencies and hear about the plans to correct the deficiencies in the report and to strengthen the focus on the mission of MCPS. I urge all of my colleagues and the public to be engaged in this conversation from an asset-framed mindset. I believe we must frame today's conversation through acknowledging the many strengths of MCPS. We just talked about some of them in the workforce development area upstairs, while engaging in creative and positive problem solving for what are significant challenges. I believe there's power in understanding people and systems through both their strengths, aspirations, accomplishments, and weaknesses. And while we seek to better understand the challenges before MCPS and the board, and the issues and errors that have led to today, I urge all of us to remember that we are also seeking to chart a path to a brighter and better future. As a former MCPS student, a parent of current MCPS students, and the chair of the Education Committee and council member, I've experienced the school system from a lot of different ways over the last 40 plus years and witnessed firsthand the great parts of the system and the not so great parts of the system. But we have to be relentless in offering solutions. I really appreciate the IG, who we'll hear from today, for their work to not only identify problems, but outline potential solutions. Just a little context. Our system's been around since 1860. Since that time, we've changed quite a bit. We've had 23 superintendents, 22 have been men, now 2 have been women in interim, and our first African-American superintendent was Paul Vance in 1991. And 30 years later, Dr. McKnight became the second black person and first woman appointed interim superintendent. So as we seek to understand what's transpired and correct the failures, let's remember that they are systemic and complex. I want to make sure we commit our energies to those solutions today. We're the largest school district in Maryland, the 15th largest in the country, serving 160,000 students, 211 schools. 75% of our students are students of color. The mission of MCPS is to give all of them opportunity and to protect those employees so they can do that for all of our students. In the last decade, MCPS has had 4 different superintendents. And as the OIG report indicates, there have been at least 3 organizational restructures as part of the MCPS central office. As we've asked our teachers and administrators to do more and more to address the social and emotional challenges of hunger and poverty and violence, it's become harder to do that work. Since the start of this term on the E&C Committee, we have called for more transparency and accountability. It was our first request of the board and the MCPS and my act as chair. I appreciate the board's work with us to improve that process. During the September 28th meeting of Jackson Lewis report, we learned about many policy deficiencies, inadequate archiving of emails, and lack of resources to support board members in the deliberations. Since then, we've heard some reports of corrective action, some of which we'll talk about today. We recently called for the full release of an unredacted or dramatically less redacted Jackson Lewis report, which unfortunately was just sent to us at 2 p.m. today. President Silvestri has indicated in a press conference that the board will update the Inspector General and us on their progress. We appreciate that collaboration. The need for transparency and accountability remains paramount, and we look forward to getting towards that more and more today.